Hello. Hello, hello.
Look at that. We figured out how to turn the microphone on. It didn't want to work today. Okay, cool. Well, this is good. Captions seem to be working. Microphone seems to be working. Music seems to be at a good level. All right, be right there. Where's the button? There it is. All right, we made it. We made it. We're live today. Good day. Let me scroll back up and check in here. Say hello here. Oh, weird. I changed the way I look at chat on my screen, and I was scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. I was like, that's a lot of people. And then I realized it was just yet the end of yesterday's stream. It didn't used to do that. Anyway, where's the beginning of today? Hold on. Here we go. Boris, hello. Every day can be Tuesday if you want it to be. That is true. I'd prefer not. Not and Getty, welcome in. Nice to see you. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday. So Fluff, welcome in. Hello, hello. Oh, Boris, you got a club entry. 160, hell yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot of check-ins. Shayna, hello. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Samikin, welcome in. Hello. Hello. I was here before you went live, and then I had a crazy wallpaper pic of you in every hat imaginable. Yes, you did. I updated. I updated it. Previously there was a thing of, it's just like the default pic. I don't know, whatever the default pic is for, whatever the default picture is, I think it's just like a blank screen. Anyway, Mrs. Syntax, welcome. Hello. Shayna, if you'd like to see that again, it's also the default thumbnail on YouTube. And you can look at it at the link in chat. If you click that link in chat and you're not subscribed, you should subscribe. Anyway, we are live there too. Yeah, I needed like a default background, and I was like, that seems stupid and silly. And I remember every time I come across something that's fun on someone else's stream like that, I have I'll screenshot it. Like I have screenshots of different streamers, like layouts and stuff like that and I have them organized into folders on my desktop in the stream folder. Anyway, all of that, that particular background, there was some other streamer that had one that was like that. And I was like, oh, that's really fun. And when I was looking at my reference screenshots, I was like, I'll make that background. Well, what really happened, Shayna, was I started making one, and then I was like, maybe I'll like take a couple pictures and I'll put them on the screen, and we'll see which one I like better. And then I was like, oh wait, but they're all kind of together. And now I kind of like the way that looks, so I just kept going. So Fluff, I am organized to a fault, an extreme fault. An extreme fault. Sometimes the organization keeps me from action. But usually what happens is the organization, I don't take action until I feel completely organized around something. That happened today. I took action on several things today. Despite thinking that it was Tuesday again, and forgetting that Calvin did not have school today. So, that part sucked. All right, here's what we're gonna do. It's inspiring. Well, thank you. I am often more organized than anyone else in my life. That is true. That is like a stone cold fact. Master of Splits, welcome in. We are not making a Philly cheesesteak potato gratin. But I do need to get organized to make a cheesesteak next week. I'll probably go to Reading Terminal and grab some ingredients for that. But you could layer layers of, in the gratin itself, you could just layer the beef and the cheese whiz, of course, and the fried onions. You could just layer it all in there. It would be like an amazing, like, natural thing. Kids are off school tomorrow and Friday. Oof. That's kind of rough, but at least it's like a 4-day weekend, right? Here, we have a half day tomorrow and Friday. Although Friday, I'm not concerned about. Gwen's going to handle Friday because we're going to be at the buffet. But there's a half day, which is kind of the worst. I wish it was just like pick one, have one full day, and let's have that be Friday or Thursday. Is it a holiday? No, it's parent-teacher conferences. It's not anything. I mean, Lunar New Year today, Chinese New Year is today. So was off school today for that. Among other updates I made on stream for today, chat is over here now. You can see chat when someone chats. You can see it. It's right here. And it goes up to like here. So if there's like a bunch at once, it'll, oh, there we go. There we go. Beep, 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 beep. It is on the, it should be on the screen. I think I'm checking, did it come through on YouTube too? I don't know, I hope so. It should, there it is, okay, good. I put it on the screen. It's on the screen now, over here on Twitch, because I'm multi-streaming to YouTube and I want people to be able to see the chat. Yeah, it disappears after like a few seconds. It's for two purposes. It's for, in case anyone wants to go on YouTube and be, you can rewind on YouTube. So if you missed the chat or something like that, you can like rewind back and just see it over here in the broadcast. Or if you're doing like a video and you want to have like, because the VOD goes away after a while, but clips stay forever. And if you you clip something and there's a chat, anyway, I added it. We'll see if I like it. I'm not even noticing it at the moment, so. All right, we're gonna make a potato gratin, which I believe takes about forever to cook. So we're not making this one. Sorry, that's upside down. We're not making this one, but we're making something similar. This one is from a book by Kristen Donnelly, favorite potluck, modern potluck author, favorite author. Oh God. Bevanix, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. A virtual office. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. You are, that is the kindest, and that is the most wild raid message I've ever gotten. That is amazing. Danny Fandoms, hello. Uni Bebe, welcome in. Y'all, it's nice to have you. Sofa, thank you for the shout out. I love a co-working stream. I love those kind of leave it on in the background streams. Those are so fun. Thank you for coming through. Kathy, welcome. Are we making potato gratin? We're just getting started. She made me your problem now. Danny, welcome in. Go birds indeed, Shayna. Yes. Well, friends who just joined us, welcome in. It's nice to have you. My name's Lou. This is, we're a variety stream. We do cooking mainly and IRL streams in the city of Philadelphia, thus the Eagles. Comment in chat. You should know that I'm not really a sports fan. That was tongue in cheek. But anyway, welcome in. We're doing a potato gratin today. Is that a puppy? There's two living creatures directly behind me. One is Gwen, who is looking for rubber gloves And yes, we have rubber gloves. They're going to be in that cabinet over there next to the recycling, bottom shelf on the left, probably green. Nope, 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 nope. Hold on. They are in here? Question mark? Sorry, we're just, I'm assuming this is cat related.
No, the infamous gloves table.
Oh, well, I don't know where they're. If they're in there, they're in a box that looks like this. In that cabinet.
Those
are disposable. Yes, they are. They're disposable rubber gloves. Okay, but I don't have any other rubber gloves other than that. That's it. Those are the only ones. And I don't know. Probably because I pulled the last gloves out of it when I was like actually using them, and then just didn't throw them out. I don't know why. Bevnix, there was also a puppy. Not a puppy. There's a 12-year-old pit bull whining for snacks behind me and treats, etc.
Yeah.
Now, Boris, the weather here is great. It was like 5 or 6 today, which is fantastic and warmer than it has been. Sofluff asks, how is Mouse doing? Mouse is the new foster cat as of yesterday. Fellas, hello. Mouse is doing great. Mouse is under the bed, mainly, just like chilling. She was in the bathroom most of last night and then is just kind of hanging out at this point. Still kind of keeping it low key. But is not loud, is not like doing anything, you know, isn't otherwise an issue. Jay Burner's too much for organization. Yeah. Well, I mean, I knew where the gloves are. I think I just don't have any. I think I just don't have any at the moment. Unless there's more in here. But we are going to make a potato gratin today, I promise. We're just getting started. Mainly. Like Kyle's kittens. They are, yeah, I mean, this is a foster cat. She's somewhere between 1 and 2 years old, according to the shelter. And she's very small. So I'm not really, you know, I don't know what her history is or any of that, but she's been settling in. She's being a little like chill at the moment. Okay. This is what we're making though. We're not making, well, I should say, we're not making this, but I'm using this recipe. So, am I saying your name right? I'm saying Bevinix, but is it Bevinx? Can someone like write it out phonetically for me so I can get it correct? Because I want to make sure. I don't like saying someone's name wrong. It makes me not feel great. Is she a new pet or a temporary foster? Mrs. Syntax, she is a temporary foster until the 10th. So she is planned for, but not ready. They're not ready yet. Bevan, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, Uni. That is always nice to know. Bellas, enjoy your lurk. Good to see you. We're going to do from this modern potluck book. I'm going to kind of follow this as a like rubric, but without actually making this recipe. I am going to start the oven out though at 420 degrees because this calls for the oven to be at 375 and my oven is not as hot as the temperature of my oven is not what it's actually set for somehow I feel like it's not getting as hot as it should. So I'm turning it up. We're gonna again I keep talking about this. We're gonna calibrate it at some point, but I'm just kind of guessing right now. Abscess Syntax says I wanted to ask because the term foster is interchangeably being used as I adopted a foster and I am fostering. No, we are fostering. This is we are the foster house for this cat on its way elsewhere. That is an accurate statement. Okay. this calls for 2.5 pounds of sweet potatoes and a 2-pound celery root and a 2-pound rutabaga, which is a lot. Oh my God, that's so much. Okay, unsalted butter, a cup of chicken broth, a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, and then that's it. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna do any of, we're not gonna look at that. We're just gonna look at the directions, right? And here, we're gonna look at the directions. We're gonna slice the potatoes that we have, and then we're gonna make something out of that using the basic timing of this recipe and timing, heat, etc., and process. So like this recipe calls for putting liquid in and covering it and then uncovering it. Like we're gonna do that, but we're gonna do that with different potatoes. Some sweet potato. Anyway, I'm gonna read the recipe first and then we'll talk through it. Using a mandolin or a very sharp knife, we're gonna use a mandolin. Slice the potatoes lengthwise into slabs that are about 1/8 of an inch thick. Lengthwise. Ooh, fun. I don't think we're gonna do that. Anyway, have the celery root 1/8 inch thick. Those are words. 1/8 inch thick slabs for all of it. Layer, 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 layer. Pour the broth over and around the vegetables. Cover the baking dish tightly with foil. Bake for 45 minutes until the vegetables are almost tender. When pierced, remove the foil and pour the cream over the gratin. Bake for 30 minutes until the liquid has thickened. Meanwhile, spread the walnuts, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're not doing anything with the walnuts. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to slice the potatoes and layer those. I want this to have like a cheesy component to it, but I'm worried that if I put the cheese in the actual layering, I might put some cheese in the layering just to get like some layers, cheesy layers in there. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna shred Parmesan into the layers. And then on the top, I'm gonna put like another layer of cheese that at the end, maybe the last like 15 minutes, I'll put the cheese on and then we'll broil it at the end a little bit so it's like crispy. And then there's Parmesan in the layers itself, which isn't, I'm worried about using like cheddar cheese and that gives up a lot of oil. Parmesan's not gonna do that. Parmesan's just gonna melt kind of nicely inside. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's slice the potatoes. What should I do if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl? Tune into Dinner with Mom's channel. That's my vote right there. I'm gonna do that anyway. Is Dinner with Mom's a Chiefs fan, right? That's a good. That's. Are we rivals now? No, not really. Okay, let me get the potatoes out. Let me get the potatoes out before we for anything, because I'm just seeing in the directions here that this takes like an hour and a half to cook, and like, let's see, 4:45, 5:45, 6:15, 7:15, 7:15. So let's see, 5:45, 7. Yeah, I don't know why I'm standing here fucking counting. I need to get this in the oven. She lives in Kansas City, or in Kansas. I feel like I know that she's a Chiefs fan. I feel like I've seen, I'm aware like that she's talked about the Chiefs before. That rings true to me. I could never be a rival with Dinner with Mom. She's so great. You can tell her I said that. Be mean, welcome in. Hello, fellow cooking dad. Hello, welcome. Today is definitely a cooking day. Happy Wednesday. I'm gonna be craving potatoes. I love that. And I support you getting potatoes or providing yourself with some variety of potato situation this evening. I am actually going to peel these today. I don't usually peel my potatoes or anything really, but I am going to peel these today because I want these to kind of cook together, and the skins I feel like will keep them from like melding together a little bit. I don't know if that even makes sense. It makes sense in my head, which is where most of my thoughts live. Some of them come out my mouth. Okay. This is in Kansas City. Master splits, fair. And as we know, Kansas City is not in Kansas. As we learned. Some of us learned that. Lemon Chicken McButt Nuggets, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Ooh. Ooh. I just caught my fingernail at the edge of that. Not my finger, but like my nail. Now my nail's chipped. It's in Missouri. Kansas City is in Missouri. How does that make sense? Well, it's just a city that's also named after Kansas. See? Maybe some of us didn't know that. How does it make sense? It doesn't. That's the fun part. The fun part is it doesn't. But it is true that Kansas City is in Missouri. Is different than the state of Kansas. Confused in Canadian. Yeah. Don't worry. There's plenty of Americans who are also confused about that. I don't think that that's common knowledge. There's a lot of people finding that information out for the very first time recently. Well, I guess not. I don't know. Haven't the whatever. Let's just say, haven't the Chiefs been in the game before, the Super Bowl before? Anyway, me and dinner with mom are rivals now. I think that's what I'm getting out of this conversation for the next like 2 weeks. We're rivals. Because I happen to live in Philadelphia. Anyway, there is a poll about what should happen if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl on this stream. I'm liking make barbecue. I don't really need an excuse to make barbecue. Same like Georgia, a country and a state. Yes. Correct. Except the country, I don't think most people could point out on a map. Actually, no, I don't think a lot of people who live in this country could point out the state of Georgia on a map, much less the country. I don't have a lot of faith, y'all. Just saying. The bar is real low. Woo. Peeling things is so satisfying. Imagine being a sailor and having to peel potatoes all the time. Wasn't that always like the trope of the Navy? You're like, you're just going to peel potatoes. I don't know. I feel like I remember hearing that as a kid. That was a random aside. Okay, so those are peeled. Now we get the fun using the mandolin part. Which I know scares some of y'all, scares me too. Ashik, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I grew up in Georgia. It sucks. The only thing I remember, I've only been to Georgia for like a hot minute. Alley Cat, welcome in. Thank you for the prime. Thank you for the prime. That's 12 months. That is guaranteed Cookie Club. If you want it, I will, of course, reach out to you in Discord at such time as Cookie Club comes around. But that is a guaranteed cookies this month. I chipped my nail with that peeler. I gotta file it down just past that little part. I've only been to Georgia like once, maybe twice in my whole life. And the one time I remember going there was on not a field trip. It was a long trip. It was like a week and a half long trip with the environmental class in my high school. And we stopped in Georgia on the drive to Key West because our teacher knew of a really good barbecue place there called the Georgia Pig that we had to stop at. He was the type of gentleman who very much enjoyed barbecue and other smoked meats. And he was right. It was great. So Fluff says, all I know is Georgia is in the South. It is indeed. It's mostly on the East Coast too. Moscow are two different cities. One is in Idaho and the other is in Russia. Yeah. There's I think I knew that. I think I knew that it was also, I feel like it's something else too. I feel like it's some sort of like tiny town. You grew up in the South one. Yes. Ashik, I figured. You didn't seem Georgian, but maybe that's just my USA same recognizing same. Who knows? Right, Cookie Club entries. Good call, Soflof. This is not the last stream of the month, though. The last stream of the month will be on Friday. It will be on the 31st. But it is a good time to get your Cookie Club entries in. DJ Harley, welcome in. Ashik says Georgia does have good barbecue. Yeah, that granted. Adorable says make work like peeling potatoes in the Navy is a real thing. You've got sailors whose jobs are literally to lift heavy objects in an assembly line as fast as possible during combat. And they'll do some very stupid things if you don't keep them busy. You know what? I can appreciate that sentiment. And I believe you. Yeah, it's probably a lot of those type of odd jobs on a ship. Because like, you know, if you're not in combat, like, certainly there's people whose main job is combat, like all of them. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm also gonna, let me take this sweatshirt off. I feel encumbered and warm. Jimmy Carter's from Georgia. That's right. The Georgia Peach. Mr. Sharky at the Dads I'd like to follow tag. You like that one? I like that one too. I think it's funny. I enjoyed that one. Mr. Sharky, you are the first person. You are the first person to ever mention that. And it brings a smile to my face because it's been there for like a long time. No, you might be the second or third person. Someone might have mentioned it before. I don't really recall. It's been long enough. It's been long enough. Did you click? Is that how you got to this stream today? Before I take this off, do all our Canadian friends love my Snugglebugs sweatshirt? Snugglebugs. Canada's largest baby store. Oh. There we go. Where do I put this? Never heard of it. Fair enough. They used to be a client of mine. They're not anymore. They used to be a client of the company I worked for. Neither that company nor my employment there exists anymore. So fun times, right? Showed up with my recommendations. I was looking for people with closed captioning. Awesome. Is the closed caption working for you though? Like, is it working? Because that is a big thing. I like to know that it's working. Like, I can see it working on my end, on my like OBS, but it's always nice to know that it's actually working. There's a few folks who use it, who watch streams, so I do know. Amazing. Great. I am using what plugin am I using? I don't even remember. I'm using the captions plugin. A captions plugin. It looks like I should make Kansas City barbecue. That seems to be winning. Apple Hooker, evening. Is that sweet potato? Yes, it is. It's two types of potatoes. It's sweet potatoes and regular, like, Yukon Gold, I guess, potatoes. Crawdog, hello. Good day. The Google one. It is. Yeah, I think so. I think it's that. It's like whatever the auto one is. There's like a good... I've tested a few. Closed captions are important enough to me that I actually have a backup in place in case like someone's like, your closed captions aren't working. I've got like another one I can fire up. So that's always nice. Yeah, it is better than the native one. Kansas City barbecue, you know? I don't know what that actually entails. But like, sure. I don't know if they will. Again, I have no... I'm not following any of this close enough. This says 1/8 of an inch. The mandolin is just marked 1 through 8. And then there's one that just says P. I wonder what the P is. Well, let's see. That's a half. That's a 1/4 inch at the 8. So like an 1/8 of an inch is probably that. I don't know. Never cooked sweet potato. I'm intrigued. I love a sweet potato, and I am usually a fan of just roasting them whole, but today we're going to do a gratin. So we're basically just shaving these thin. That is exactly an 1/8 of an inch, according to my tiny ruler, which certainly this camera will not focus on. But for the sake of trying, let's see. Can we get it to focus? Almost. Close enough. Close enough. Class zooms, Sharky. That is always nice too. Yeah, I lurk a lot, but usually I'm just at home and I'm like, it's in the background, so I keep the noise on. But I definitely I love having a closed caption. It looks like a Swede. It is, I don't think I know what a Swede is in this context. What is that? Is that a type of potato? This would just be called a sweet potato. Like, I wouldn't call this by any other name. I'm not sure what else. It's not rutabaga, Crodal. That is true. This is not a rutabaga. This recipe that I was looking at for reference calls for rutabaga and sweet potato. It's like lots of stuff in there. It's good though. I've made it and it's a really good recipe, but that's not what we're doing today. SoFluff says of Kansas City barbecue, it has a thick, sweet sauce of molasses. We love molasses, brown sugar, and tomatoes. Well, that sounds easier. Yams, DJ Harley. Yeah. That's right. That's correct. That is what one would call these, yams. So I'm just taking all of these and popping them into a bowl. And this gratin, I don't really know, again, I don't really know how long any of this stuff takes to cook. It's like a type of turnip. I mean, turnip is also a root vegetable, so, I mean, this is pretty similar in texture to a turnip, I would say. Swede, Swede is what we call rutabaga. Got it. Okay, full circle. I understand now. Thank you. And I know that some of y'all were like trying to make that come across to me, but it takes a second, y'all. A rutabaga. Okay, so it's like a little tart. A little tart. Yeah, this gratin recipe that I have calls for like a ton of potatoes. So I'm gonna weigh these at the end and we'll see how it compares to what the recipe says. Why not grill a tomahawk steak? Because I don't eat beef, generally speaking. A tomahawk steak would be a very pricey item and just like that. I feel like that would be too much. That would be a lot. I don't even remember the last time I had a regular like steak. The last time I had a cheesesteak was on stream. And the time before that, I have no idea. I Googled it too. Good. Ace, hello. A second language. Sometimes I try to use, this is gonna make me sound like a jerk. Maybe not. I try to use a large variety of words when I talk to Calvin, so that he gets a larger vocabulary. And I don't tend to do that on stream, but just sometimes things come out. But even I didn't know what a Swede was. So let's start the gift subs and donuts for a tomahawk steak. Oh God. I have this idea that tomahawk steak is expensive. I don't actually know how much it is, but regardless, I don't really eat beef, so it would kind of be. I would probably not do very well. Like it would probably be cooked okay, but like I'm not like good at, not super familiar with like beef generally, so it probably would end up being a waste of money. Megan, welcome. Hello. So you speak to him in English and American. I mean, yeah, I just use some larger English words. A variety of words. Sometimes if we're in a conversation, I will use synonyms for things that we're talking about so that it's like, all of these things mean the same thing type of situation. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of whatever. Stick a fork in and save cutting your fingers. Well, I've got this thing. I'm using this thing for these larger, or these potatoes. These are a bit slick. These are slipperier. So I've only cut myself on the mandolin a handful of times. That hand is getting smaller, but it's still just a handful. Expensive and overrated. Wait, it's the opposite of me. So what are you saying? I'm all underrated. Cheap and underrated. Hey, I'll take those things. All right, these potatoes look great. It's a lot of potatoes. I try to use an extensive vocabulary with my mini and small, but sometimes my blue collar comes out. Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's like an intentional thing. When I think about it, and then I'll do it. But a lot of the time, I definitely just talk, you know. But I read a lot. I've always read a lot, so I feel like my vocabulary can be larger occasionally. Angry Rook, welcome. Oh, what was that? Just like came off. This whole thing is just coming apart. Things like zucchini and courgette, bell pepper and paprika. Sort of, Mrs. Syntax. I think I literally just used this. I just did this afternoon. We were I was talking about someone's capacity for something and their availability for something and their what was the other one? I'll think of a recent example. It has to do a lot with just synonyms, like general synonyms. It's a very orange day. It is kind of an orange day. We have sweet potatoes. We have this orange thing with a hat. That's my like Rosie the Riveter pose. Did we get that one? Okay. My nephew sounds so grown up. He uses interesting words because we've always just talked to them normally and not simplified and explained a word if it's a word they don't know. Ace. Yeah, I think that's kind of my point is like, I haven't really done a lot of like, you know, anything other than just like regular language with Calvin. So same, like what you're saying. Yeah, just like talk to them normally. If you use a word they don't know, tell them what the word is. If you think they don't know the word, ask them if they know it. Like cinnamons? Wait, cinnamon what? I like cinnamon. I want to weigh these potatoes. I just want to know like how close I am to this recipe. Right? Right? We have a chat from YouTube. Hello, Hubert. Yes, we are live. This is live. It is live. We're primarily chatting on Twitch, so if you see me or hear me responding to chats, they're going to be on the screen in an overlay for you, but I'm live. Correct. All right. Weight of the sweet potatoes is 66 ounces. That's 4 pounds, 2 ounces. 4 pounds, 2 ounces. The recipe calls for Liz. Welcome in. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Stuff is interesting. Ace says it's the outlook. Stuff is interesting and it's great to ask questions, right? And find out about stuff. Curiosity. And it's great to talk about stuff that that happens and you see around you. Yeah, exactly. It's very, like, fostering the curiosity, I think, is important. Butter a baking dish. Arrange the sweet potatoes. Season. Okay, so we're basically just like seasoning all this. Pretty straightforward. So this is 4 pounds. This recipe calls for 2.5 plus 1.5, because it calls for celery root, but it says like peel it and trim it, which is probably like half a pound worth of the celery root itself. So 2.5 plus 1.5 is 4 plus 5. Let's see, 5.5. Okay, so this recipe total is like 5.5 pounds. What I have here is about 4 pounds worth of potatoes. So this should cook in a little bit less time than what this dish calls for, which is good, which is what we want. We want that. Crawdle, don't forget to season. No, seasoning is very important here because otherwise we don't have any other, there's no other opportunity to season it. We're going to put it in the oven. So here's what else I'm going to do. I'm going to put this mandolin away and so that I don't put my hand down onto it and slice through an artery. I'm going to get out some cheese and we're going to grate this cheese. And then we're going to pause for a little ad break on Twitch. I'm going to play a game of words on stream, and we will be started layering right after that. So little heads up on what's next here. I'm going to take this cheese though, and we're going to grate this into a bowl. It's going to use the same bowl that I had for that I was using for the potatoes because whatever. Because that's what we're going to do. Take me through the gate. Kathy asked, did you choose the Cookie Club cookie for this month yet? I did not. I most certainly did not yet. I will be looking at that. I'll probably know what it is before the day that we do the drawing. So we're going to do the drawing on probably Tuesday of this coming week. It should be on the calendar, or Cookie Club making is on the calendar. Whatever, the drawing is going to be the day before this time around. Are we doing photos for the Eat a Test calendar with biceps and a mandolin? We could. No, there's no calendar. I didn't get around to it this year. I suggest you go. Did Nurse Huckleberry do a calendar this year? She's had a good one. They've had good ones before. I suggest you get your calendar at the Nurse Huckleberry show. Grapple Hooker says, having lived in the Netherlands for 20 plus years, I'm now totally metric. I barely recall the old imperial measurements and have to make mental conversions. Good for you. Good for you. Jordy, welcome in. Happy Tuesday, Wednesday. Daisy, get out of the cabinet, please. Excuse me. Thank you. I recently learned that 500 grams is very close to 1 pound, so I'll remember that for later. Should be useful. There's a lot of like little stuff that's like close enough, you know what I mean? It's Wednesday, but almost Thursday. Correct. It is. Well, it's Wednesday here for me too, but for a little while longer. Yeah, get your Cookie Club entries in if you haven't yet this month. Cookie Club, you can get your entries in by many ways. There's a link in chat that'll tell you all the different ways. If you sub or donate bits or gift subs, if you check in regularly or post clips, take clips of the stream, post clips, take them. If you clip them, clipping is a verb. Debating if I want to use my channel points for another entry or save them for next month. I honestly, Kathy, I don't know. I haven't looked. Like I haven't had any mind at all. I know I will tell you that it may be the one, if you go back into Cookie Chat in Discord and see what that, the other one that I was going to make last month, I might make that one this month. So last month was the tiramisu ones, and then there was another one that I forget. Hey, it's 10 p.m. bedtime. You're good. You are. That's great. I've been trying to get the 10 p.m. bedtime. I've done it 0 times recently, but I've tried. I've thought about it. Surviving January, Liz. Yup, that sounds about right. Yeah, Pinky Juiced, welcome in. IRL discussion. Yeah, Liz, thank you. Well, things to think about. We're going to do the buffet stream on Friday, and I'd like to maybe think about some things to ask. I've already thought about a lot of things to ask. Like, trust me when I say I've got a whole long list of like questions to ask these folks. But one, I want to know if anyone else has thoughts or questions or like wants to know something about this place, because we're going to have access to somebody who knows things about things. Somebody who's been there for 20 years, I think she said, or maybe longer, a long time. So I think I'd like to get some questions that maybe we could ask. And then I also wanted to trying to decipher them in between chat. Oh, Liz, I was just planning on going back and watching the VOD and copying and pasting them. But no, I think generally speaking, no, I was thinking about just doing like that, because if it's a discussion, it'll be like, you know, I can usually go back through VODs pretty quickly for that purpose. I've gotten good at going back through the VODs. All right, we're almost there. We're going to do a little bit more of the cheese here, and then we'll do a quick break to play a game of Words on Stream and run a 3-minute advertisement on Twitch. So that's where we're at. This cheese is all going to go in between the potato layers. So I was thinking about using the other cheeses that I have in there that are more like deli cheese, but I'm worried that those will melt and leak a bunch of oil out, and then it would just be like, I'm worried it'll get sloppy if I do that. I don't like that. Not in this dish. I don't want this to be like a weird, gross, like, not gross, a weird, like, wet situation. Lurking while cooking dinner and doing dishes. 'Tis the best thing to do. I love lurking on streams. When I'm not streaming and I'm cooking dinner, I am often like doing exactly that. It's one of my favorite things. All right, we're gonna take this and wrap this up. I think that's probably enough cheese. I don't think there'll ever really truly be enough cheese, but that seems to be a pretty robust amount. The kids are fed before rehearsal. You know what? That's good for you. You got it done. That's fed at all is what you're looking for. Truly. I've seen a Facebook meme, Ace says, that says 30 days have September, April, June, and November, all the rest of 31 apart from January, which has 43,728, which is true. Which is deeply true. Why does January always feel this long? Pinky, enjoy your menu writing. 10 p.m. bedtime, Ace? You got to. Well, I appreciate you. All right, we're going to run a quick ad here on Twitch. We're going to play a game of Words on Stream, and we'll be back in just a moment here. So, here it comes. Ding! Here comes your Twitch ad. 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.
Hi.
There it
Welcome
goes.
to another edition of Commercials I Hate.
Okay. Now, while that's happening, let's see what happens on, because I'm not super familiar with what happens here on YouTube. Could I, let's see. Oh. Okay, I think I can actually put this, I think I could put this link into YouTube as well. Let's see. What's the other thing I wanted to do? I wanted to do Okay. As I'm working, so friends anybody who's watching live on YouTube right now, I am still getting set up with how to stream on YouTube, and I am working on that. I've been streaming on Twitch for like 2.5 years, but we're working on the multi-stream. Thank you for bearing with me. Appreciate it. At some point, you'll be able to participate in Words on Stream. That point is not today. I'm sorry. Okay. Speaking of participating in Words on Stream, though, I would like to do that. Because I'm here. Who's going to get that? Someone's going to grab that big one immediately. There it is. Exactly, so far. Acetyl. Liz, you're in the sciences, aren't you? I feel like that's a big science word. I know my friend who will be streaming with me in Canada when I'm doing that is a scientist, and I've heard him use that word many times. Alrighty. Well, if you're here on Twitch and you were getting an ad, thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. We don't like doing them, but they happen. If you're watching on YouTube, congratulations. You didn't get an ad because the channel's not monetized yet. But at some point, you probably will. Anyway. This is looking good. We're within striking distance. Everybody's got one more guess coming up. Everybody's got one more guess, and we need 3 correct words. Go. 2 more. We need 2 more. Out of words. Okay. That was a good show. That was a good one. Those are really weird letters. I didn't really like those letters. Okay, let's come back over here now. Welcome in. Good afternoon. Yeah, the X throws me off. Exactly. Calvin! I just approved that thing. Evan, while we were playing Words on Stream, texted me and asked to download a new app. Which is fine. It was like a numbers, and I just went back and looked at it. It's like a numbers and counting app. It's a math app. Okay. It probably just looks like a math app. It's probably something else. Something much more salacious. Okay, we're to make this gratin now. Gratin. So this also calls for a 9 by 13 baking dish. I think that is what I'm going to use, even though we're going to be separate, even though we don't have as many potatoes as many solids as the recipe calls for. That's okay. Let me wash my hands again because we're going to be doing potato by hand. So I just want to like get this in the oven. I want to do a couple things. I want to get this in the oven. And then I do want to talk a little bit more about some IRL stuff, specifically about the buffet and about the Toronto. But I want to get this in here first, so I can actually like focus and pay attention on that. You know. Don't like X. Not in the words on stream. No. Or it's a weird letter. It's a weird letter for word games. That's why it's worth more, right? Exactly. So this recipe that I'm using as a template calls for buttering the dish, so we're going to do that. It calls for chicken broth as well, but I don't have broth. Liz, is it weird to ask someone how they'd like you to communicate with them? No, not at all. I guess it depends on the context. If it's like, so I have, oddly enough, I recently yeah, I've had this conversation plenty of times where it's like, is this like better phone, better text, do you like voice memos, do you like notes, like whatever? I don't think that's rude at all in any context, professional or otherwise. I think that I would say if you have been trying to communicate with them and they are not receptive or not responsive to it, it might be good in the context of your saying, how do you want me to communicate with you? To say like, I realize that I realize that I've messaged you several times and I haven't gotten a response. Do you prefer that I Slack you or voicemail or whatever? Like, acknowledge acknowledge what's happened already, I think is what I'm saying. I don't think that's rude at all. I would, if someone asked that of me, I would tell them exactly how I like to be communicated with, and I would deeply appreciate their asking. The only time Grapple Hooker says the only time I've been in a situation where that would apply is when I meet a deaf person. That's fair. Yeah, I'm sure they would appreciate that too. I struggle with walking on eggshells, so I thought maybe I'm not communicating in their preferred way, but also how do I know if you don't tell me? This is true. Yeah, I think it's reasonable to ask. I as I like to think, a reasonable human being would not be put off by that, someone asking me that at all. Like no part of me would. I would appreciate it, in fact. If it was in a professional capacity, I would really appreciate it. In a personal capacity, I'd be grateful as well. Yeah, I mean, that seems like a totally reasonable thing to like ask of somebody. Especially because like you want to be able to get a response from someone. You don't want to like keep putting messages out in a way that someone doesn't receive them. Seems reasonable to me. I would just ask. All right, layer number 1 is in. Let's do a little pepper. A pinch of salt. Not too much salt though. I don't want to over salt this because I'm adding a bunch of cheese. Not a bunch, but enough. So I'm going to add a layer of cheese like in between each of these. There we go. Now another layer of potatoes. Let's do a layer of the regular potatoes. I don't know what to call these. Yukon Golds, maybe? I think that's what they are. I don't recall exactly. I like these. These are a little bit larger slices, and I can just do like full on, like an easy layer. I have less of the regular potato. Here, you're gonna be pinching off the cheese. No, just. She's not talking to y'all.
From Germany.
She's talking to the dog. Well, listen, you never. Sure, but you know.
That knows it down to what type of like.
Yes, and if you were to.
Save some for the rest of us. God.
Seriously, bro's all over here eating fistfuls of Parmesan. He's hiding. Yes. Oh, okay. Kathy, hopefully this is, I have not made this before. This is a new to me scenario. I'm making it up as we go. So if it turns out poorly, you'll know. I think this is, I just wanted to get rid of a bunch of, like we had, this week is all about just like, let's use leftovers essentially. Or let's use what's in the pantry because I didn't do any shopping. So yesterday we used up a bunch of the stuff from the crisper. We used a whole bunch of carrots. We used dried chickpeas, although those weren't from the crisper. Carrots, we used some onions, some garlic. Regrettably, I used all of my broth yesterday. I would have liked to have reserved perhaps a cup for this evening. That's okay. We didn't, and it will be just fine without it. I am going to put some water in here as opposed to broth. No. Ooh. I'm going to use, well, I guess I could use stock, Liz. I don't. I don't. I literally used all of my frozen everything last night for that stew. But I do have bouillon, and I can make like a quick broth, and I think I'm going to do that with, yeah. I can make just like a quick chicken bouillon or chicken or beef, I forget, broth, and just do that real quick. So that'll work. I forgot that I had that. Okay. Whatever you need. Mom's got you. She's doing it. She's in charge now. Okay. All right. I'm gonna add just another little. I'm adding like a very little, not a ton of salt on each layer, just like enough that I can see little bits of salt. One, because there's like quite a few layers here, but two, because this is cheesy, and the cheese has a lot of salt of its own in it, so I don't need to salt it as much. I don't think. All right, let's get another layer of the white potatoes. I think I can maybe have one more layer's worth of white potatoes. So that's good. We're using a lot of the sweet potatoes because they take up less space. So we're, as far as coverage goes, these white potatoes are using a lot less slices.
Or dress.
All right.
Yeah, forgetting.
Almost there. I'm laughing because Gwen and Calvin are like trying to get out the door and it just hasn't happened yet.
Check around here.
Are you paying for karate? You pay for karate with a for real check? Literally any other way. Venmo, Square, PayPal, cash.
Dollars?
You came from a year? Yeah. Oops.
I should be getting it for free anyway. Bye.
Okay. Are you good now? I mean,
Come on.
nah, not in there. No, it's not in there. You're right. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, at least one more layer of the sweet potato, and then I don't have enough for another layer of the white potato, but no, I might have just enough. We'll see. Grapple Hooker says, I can't remember the last time I saw a check. I don't think the banks make them anymore. I know, right? I have not used a check in an extremely long time. Does anyone use checks regularly? Like personal checks. I don't mean like professional, like getting a check cut from your company or something like that. I mean like writing a check at the store, or for like Gwen's like was like, oh, I have to pay the karate studio, and I'm like, but you can't do that online? No, you can't. Clearly not. Not for 30 years. Yeah, it's like, I don't, it's just not useful anymore. It's actually extremely useful because sometimes that's the only way you can pay, clearly. So you got to know how to do it, I suppose. I know how to write a check. I definitely know how to write one. So I will say I'm probably, there's certainly people out there who do not know how to write checks, and maybe I feel some level of like weird elder millennial superiority for having that type of knowledge. Liz says the last time was when I bought my car, but now I wonder if I actually just used my car or broke it off, used my card. Yeah, I don't know. I know that I'm pretty sure the same checkbook has been in our kitchen drawer for 15 years. Easy. All right, let's do another layer of the sweet potatoes. Now I'm trying to move a little quicker here because I know that this takes a while to bake, and I want this to be finished, but I already know that it's not really probably going to be finished by the time Gwen and Calvin get home from karate, even if I get it in the oven like right now, in this moment, which is clearly not. But we're close. We're closer than we were. We're closer than we were before. We're closer than we've ever been. How's that? Real checkbooks, huh? Jamie, hello, welcome in. Tundrella says, Adam has seen at least 3 people use checks at the grocery store in the last month. They're all boomers and we are rural enough, though. That's true. That's true. I will say I've seen that same situation. Older folks using a checkbook at the grocery store. I feel like that's common enough. Common enough. Liz asked, did you and Gwen have a traditional wedding? If so, did you have a cake? Today at work, I was doing a presentation on the trends in pickles and pickled products, and there's a huge trend now on pickle cakes and cupcakes. Okay, see, I did read that correctly the first time, but I had to pause to be like, there appears to be the word pickle next to the word cake. I feel like there might be a typo. It's not. Yes, we did. And yes, we had a cake. It was it was like a tiered, but like just a single piece, and white with like purple ribbons. It was pretty straightforward. It was literally the only thing that I wanted, that I like. It's the only thing that we were in disagreement on more than the cake, because I liked the purple ribbons and she wanted something a little different, and I was like, I don't care about anything else at all. The piece of plastic used to be my check guarantee card, and now it's just a PIN card. That's, we're moving into we've moved pretty much exclusively into the digital payment space, for good or for bad. And we have moved apparently into the pickle cake. The pickle cake. I don't know how comfortable I feel with that. Mix, welcome in. Hello. Sofla says, I had to use my phone to pay at the store because I forgot my wallet, and the elderly lady behind me was so confused how I paid with my phone. I'm definitely of the age where I forget that I can pay with my phone, and I've been at the store before and panicked, just absolute panic that I forgot my wallet, and then I realized that I could pay with my phone. Then I panicked again, thinking like, oh, I don't have anything set up, blah blah blah, and then I was like, oh, cool, I do. It's actually like in my wallet on my phone. Like, how did my debit card get into my phone? But thanks, I guess. Jamie says it's funny when they try to explain why they still use checks because there really isn't any good reason. No, I mean, I would say the only good reason is habit. Like habit, because I think a lot of folks, you know, are like, oh, I want to write a check so it comes out of my checking account and I don't have to use my credit card, right? Like that's why that used to be a thing, but now like you can get a check card, you can get a card linked to your checking account. So yeah, you're right. It's really not entirely necessary. Habit. Liz says, I used to be a wedding planner and thought, I wonder if anyone would do that now. Yeah, I don't think the pickle thing to me just seems weird. Blue-eyed Nerd, welcome in. Welcome in. A cheesecake for someone. Actual wheels of cheese. Oh, ooh, that sounds kind of fun. That sounds unique. That sounds really interesting. Yeah, unique. Dana, welcome in. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. What was I thinking about you the other day? I remember there was something I had a thought. You popped into my head the other day. I can't remember why now, but just know that you lived in my head for a few minutes randomly in the middle of a day, and it was a good thing. It was a good thing. Mix, did I say hi to you? Hi. Hello. I think I did. I don't recall. Daisy's just down there barking now. Perfect. Okay. Let's get this one last little layer on top. What does this book say about the top here? Pour the broth over and around the vegetables. Cover a baking dish tightly with foil. Okay, so it doesn't say anything specifically about like what to do with a last layer or topping or something like that. All right, so this is going to be the last layer. We've decided. We've decided. Liz, thank you for the shout out for Dana's Kitchen. I appreciate it. Robbie, welcome in. Hello. Hello. Cheese and potatoes, indeed. That is what we're having today. Jamie says pickle cake is a no for me. That's very reasonable. Very reasonable. Carly, hello. Welcome in. One sec. Sorry, there was a knock at the door and a big van out front, and Daisy was like freaking out downstairs. Anyway, it was one of those like senior transportation vans, and they were at the wrong house. I know where they were supposed to be going, but they were not there. Okay, hold on. I'm behind on chat. I'm going to finish this layer. Then I'm going to catch up. So one moment. I want to finish this and get this in the oven because that is like important. It is important that that occur for the timing of dinner. Okay, last little layer, a little bit of cheese. I'm gonna put some more cheese on the top of this. Like I said, I think I want to add a little layer of cheddar and some of that like deli sliced cheese on the top of here and let that melt and broil at the very end. So we're going to save some space for that. But this calls for, let's see, pour the broth over the thing. Okay, hold on. Do I have broth? Wait, that is beef. Do I have chicken in here somewhere? Beef? Beef? This is open. What am I supposed to do with this? 1 cube and 1 cup of boiling water to make 1 cup of broth. Okay. Let's put the kettle on real quick. Is there a cup of water in there? Yeah, just about. Okay, let's put this electric kettle on. I'm gonna put this electric kettle on, then we'll catch up while that is boiling. And then we will put this in the oven. Mick says their checks are valuable because they get mailed back and you have receipts for accounting. True. This comes back to when I tried to open an account at another bank and was told I had to use an app. Yeah, find another bank. Exactly. It's like, I don't like having everything digital is frustrating, but I also, the places that have like a really good live chat are actually not too bad, because then they can like point you in the direction of where you're supposed to go. Checks are more likely to be processed incorrectly, Jamie says. Yes, human error. Dana says, we pay attention to how much we spent with the check, but a credit card, they don't always look. This is true. And like, yeah, if you write a check and write it in your ledger, like, yeah, that's actually helpful because then it's in front of you. Feels terrible to use American spelling for checks. Sorry. I am myself an American and spell it like that. Shequies. I don't know how to pay with my phone, Angry Rook says. Yeah, it was, the last time I had to do it, it was a shock to me too. I'm sorry I was in your brain. No, it was a good thing. Mix, hello. Did I say hi to you? Hello. Catching up. The other December cookie was a Christmas crack cookie. Oh, right. Okay. Might not do that one. That one is still pretty good though. I'll probably look at that this week at some point, I think, and figure that out before Friday. I'd like to know that before Friday. We'll see. Tomorrow's already Thursday. The Tiramisu cookies arrived and one of my friends sent me a box of turtles. Hell yeah. My broken leg, and I'm going to put one on top of the cookies and see how that goes. Tell me how it goes, because those sound great. I feel like turtles like caramel and pecans covered in chocolate. Yes, I forgot about the caramel, but caramel is good in there too. You sure they went there for you? Oh, the old folk van? No, this was like one of those senior transport vans. I feel like if you live in the city, if you live in a city, you know the van. You probably everyone knows the type of van I'm talking about, like a little bus, that type of thing. Yes, it did. It is funny on that context mix, but I knew what you meant because I'm familiar with the concept of turtle as a candy. I had 100% zero outage and error checking record, and the time was a teller. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Get that hyper focus. I love that. We're gonna just do a cup because we're gonna do a beef bouillon today because that was the first one I laid my hands on. So we're gonna do beef bouillon. Hot water's about to boil. I'm just gonna mix this in and then we'll add it to the pan, cover it with foil, and pop it in the oven. Boiling 205, close enough. Close enough. 1 cup of water. Okay, kettle off. And now we just, stir this in? You can tell how often I make bouillon. Rarely. Oh yeah, there it goes. Okay. Kind of break it up a little bit, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Okay. Smells good. Smells like beef broth. All right, we're going to take a cup, pour the broth over and around the vegetables, cover the baking dish tightly with foil. Okay, we're gonna pour a cup of beef broth over and around the vegetables. So we're going to cover this with foil, and the broth is going to cook this with steam, I believe. And I am going to turn my oven up even more than it already is because I am worried about my timing, because this is a big, thick thing of potatoes, and it really probably needs to cook for about an hour and 15 minutes, which is going to be cutting it real close. So let's put this oven at oven's supposed to be at 375 according to the recipe, 75, 85, 95, 05, 15, 25. Okay, let's do 435. That's high, that's really high. Again, my recipe, my oven needs to be calibrated so it's not heating as high as it says it is. So I'm actually adding probably about 30 degrees Fahrenheit to this situation. All right. Gratin is in the oven. I'm caught up on chat. I'm not caught up on chat. Mix, it kept you, the fact that it represents real money keeps you diligent, even though I was also speedy because I got anxious if the line got too long, right? This is like the hurry up situation. Hurry up, but don't mess it up. I feel that whenever I go to the post office and Lisa is processing all of the cookie boxes, there very frequently forms a line behind me, like a long line. And most of the time, well, I never go there in a hurry. I never go there with like a time that I need to leave. Because she hand enters all the addresses in to the system and like puts the label on the box. So I arrive, if you've ever gotten a Cookie Club box, I arrive with the box with my handwriting on it. And Lisa puts all that information in. But yeah, I'm like, it's, you know, she's real good at it. And you know, it's like every month, every box gets to where it's going. And the ones that don't, it's not because they were misaddressed. I know that because I've had a couple, we've had some address issues before. I need adequate pressure to engage. Yeah, I can understand that, Mix. I feel similarly around just the like, I can respond to a crisis appropriately, calmly. Mostly calmly. Maybe a moment of freaking out. Okay, what else are we gonna do right now before I feel settled? Before I feel like dinner is not late. Right now I still feel like it's gonna be late. It's probably gonna be late because that's gonna take a while in the oven. I should put a timer on it, huh? About that. Okay, I'm gonna do a 45-minute timer like it says. I think that it's probably gonna be pretty finished by the time that, hopefully, I put the oven up a little higher, I sliced these pretty thin. Hopefully it's finished in the oven by the time we're done, by the time that timer is done. Or not finished, but hopefully it's like most of the way there. The next step is remove the foil, pour the cream over the gratin, bake for 30 minutes until the liquid has thickened. Okay, that's good. And remove from the oven, top the walnuts, let stand for 10 minutes. Oh my God. Why did I decide to, Why did I decide to make a potato gratin for dinner tonight? Why? That seems foolish. I should have made a potato gratin tonight for dinner tomorrow night. And I'll tell you what, y'all, if 45 minutes later, these potatoes are still completely solid, I am going to put chicken strips in the oven and we're going to have dip dinner tonight and we will have this gratin tomorrow night. There. now we have a backup plan. Yes. Mix, that's what the walk-in's for. Or the vault, I guess. Can you close the vault? Is the vault soundproof in a bank? It isn't a, it's, I know that's like the common thing in like the kitchen is to go cry in the walk-in. All right, what are we gonna do? What else are we having for dinner tonight? Because we're not eating just potatoes and cheese, which admittedly is a fine dinner. And I think I'd probably be okay with that. I was thinking, now that I was like, ooh, what happens if I just serve potatoes? I put a fried egg on top of it. But no, I think I'm gonna use the Instant Pot and make some beans too. Because then I'm just gonna put those in a red sauce and we'll have those with some toast. Because I wanna finish that sourdough, or I wanna continue eating that sourdough loaf that's in there. And if I don't think that I just want to have like potatoes and bread for dinner. I think part of me just like wants a few beans along for the ride. But what I'm going to do, I have that pizza sauce from last week. I'm going to take the pizza sauce. I'm not going to cook the beans in the pizza sauce because the beans are dry. They're completely dry right now. So they need to get processed. Once those are dry, or once those are done, I'm going to heat the pizza sauce on the stove and just put the cooked beans into it. And we will simmer it down. Simmer it down. Mick says you don't close the vault or it won't open. Right. You can go put your forehead on the metal walls and immerse yourself. Just let it cool down. Let it cool you down. C Films, hello. What about making it corny by adding corn? Ooh. You know, you're speaking my language, C Films. Corn is definitely one of my favorite. Corn is probably my favorite vegetable. I would have loved to have added, I would love to add corn to anything, really. I don't have corn either frozen or fresh at the moment. Not that you would have fresh corn. It's January. If you see fresh corn in the grocery store right now, it's like the saddest looking corn on earth. I know that. I say that because I've seen corn in the grocery store and it is indeed the saddest looking thing on earth. All right, coming in from the other direction. Velo says the chicken stock that I made yesterday ended up being chicken broccoli cheddar soup. Oh yeah, oh man. I was thinking about broccoli cheddar soup very, very recently. Like as I was meal planning this week, I was thinking about it. I hate corn. Grapple hooker, you have to put the R backwards, right? K-O-R-N. Is that nobody's gonna get that joke. C Films, I'm doing really well. Today's a good day. Let's get these beans out. I'm gonna use up, this is a use it up bean situation. I've only got a few white beans left. I don't know if I have a cup of white beans. I've got this many white beans left. Imagine making elotes with niblets and cheese and topping the gratin and boiling it for a few minutes. Oh, mix. That would be so good. This is like an elote topping is, like if I see that on a menu, I'll definitely go looking for that. Exactly, Twinderella. How did you do that? How did you do that? Magic and mystery of the backwards K. Cannellini beans, 1-to-3 ratio, 30 minutes, natural pressure release. Okay, so this is let's call this 2/3 of a cup. So let's say 0.666666666666. The number of the beast, times 3. That's 2 cups. I mean, corn, the fake white protein made with fungus. You don't mean the nu metal band from the, no? Okay, the 2000s? No? Yeah. All right, I got you. Was that, wait, no, was that the 2000s? Did Korn come out in like 90, 98? Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't want to talk about it. That's fine. That's fine. This is fine. Everything's good. I have never had that, but I know what you're talking about. It's like the fungus. It's very strange to me, but I'm not like yucking it. I don't think I've ever had it. No, I know I haven't had it, but I would try it. I would try it if someone else made it or like proffered it to me. There's an example of using a synonym. That's a situation where with Calvin, I would say like someone proffered it to me, and then someone gave it to me, and then someone provided it for me, and then someone shared it with me, and then someone served it to me, and they're all very synonymous with each other. So there you go. There's an example of using a synonym. Okay. So beans are in. Let's add. Where are they? I'm getting addicted to that bay leaf life. Using this Instant Pot. A little bay leaf. Makes things nice. All right. 30 minutes. Now these, these are gonna cook, and then I'm gonna put these directly into a sauce, the sauce on the stove. So 30 minutes, natural pressure release. We got it. We got it. It was before 96, Trindrella says, because I listened to them in high school. Yeesh. Okay. I was a little off. I was off by a decade. Korn started like 10 years ago. It's fine. I know, right? 2002 was like 2 years ago. Mentally. I moved to the Maritimes and now I heavy hand summer savory into bloody everything. Summer savory corn is definitely my favorite vegetable. Like, I don't think I have any doubt about that. Okay. So, gratin is in the oven. It's been in the oven for 10 minutes. I want to check it, but I won't, because that would be ridiculous. It's not cooked. I know this. I have the beans in the Instant Pot. I'm going to put the sauce on the stove, and then cut the bread. And I guess I'll toast the bread in the oven at the end. Yeah, I'll toast the bread in the oven at the end. Because it doesn't need to be toasted. Oh, I kind of want to toast it with like some olive oil on it. I can still do that at the end though. I'll like brush it with olive oil and then I'll put it in the oven on a sheet pan at the end of the bake for the gratin. Like when I take the cover off the gratin, I'll put the bread in to cook, and then it'll be able to it'll be finished, and then it'll cool off, and it'll be like toast. Excuse me. I like that yeesh about when Trump was in high school. It's like their high school was so long ago. You might as well be talking about things that happened in the 1700s. Yeah, I mean, it's, basically like Outlander. It's true. I mean, I am 40 years old. I turned 40. I don't feel 40 in this moment, but talk to me when I wake up in the morning. Text, good day. Hello. LMAO and Outlander. I know, right? Has anyone else watched Outlander? I'm on like season 4 or 5. I just started watching it I started watching it recently because I've had the books in my to be read list for a really, really, really long time. Probably like 6 or 7 years. And then I was finally like, hell with it, I'm just gonna watch the show. It's basically like it's very similar to I don't even know. I was gonna say it's similar to like Game of Thrones, but it's not because there's no dragons and magic. But it's basically like mystique, battles, and sex in like equal amounts every episode. And I don't know. I'm definitely into it. Although I feel like the show jumped the shark, and I was like, I'm sort of like watching it now, but I'm losing steam. I'm losing a lot of steam. I've lost a ton of steam. I watched the first 2 seasons straight through, and then I was like, nah. You're not the only person here who's from the late 1900s. The late 1900s. Thank you. The late 1900s. Grandpa Hooker, you followed it. So fluff, my mom loves Outlander. Which of those 3 things do you think she loves the most? Which of the 3 themes of Outlander do you think should keep drawing your mom back in? It's definitely the mystique, right? Cinderella was meant to be an 18th century Highlander. I know. I watched that show and I'm like, hell no. Hell no. No, do I not want to live in that. All set. All set. It does. Grapple Hooker, the 18th century, it's so much going on. I know, which is cool. Which is it makes the show interesting because of how close all of these sort of events and things happen to each other. You watch the entire series the month before a new season comes out. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, I feel like I'm losing steam. I lost steam. Basically, the season that ended with the big battle, I was like, that's it. Series over. Everyone dies. Everyone who you think is supposed to die dies. Everyone who's not supposed to die doesn't die. And we're back, bada boom. We're back where we're supposed to be. Everybody's where they're supposed to be. What's the problem? And then they were like, nah, just kidding. We're gonna add like 7 more seasons after that. And I'm like, okay. So we'll see. I'm working on it. I don't get a lot of time to watch shows. Mix, you read the first several books. It's pretty far off the books, but also not. Yeah, I've had the books in my pile for a long time. Not in my pile, my queue, I should say. My mom is always asking my spouse to download the latest episodes from his torrent sites. Nice. 8 times is a conservative estimate. That feels like a lot to watch a show. I read out to the one that has the bees on the cover, so whatever book that was. I'm not familiar with any of the covers of them. Historical stuff so far, I think it's fun. The show is fun because you're seeing it. There's one scene where they're like, I'm not giving anything away, but one of the characters like time travels and the people in the future are like, how did you get this clothing? And she's like, I wouldn't want to live then either. I like vaccines and antibiotics at a minimum. Well, get them while you can. Get them while you can. Yeah, weird timeline stuff like that is fascinating. I enjoyed the books a lot. I started releasing the books as TV shows, saw a significant quality drop. That feels common. I'm gonna add just a touch of water to this to loosen it up a little more. And I'm just gonna pop this on the stove to get that heated The beans are not obviously anywhere. They're not even like the timer on the beans cooking hasn't even started yet. So we're not close to that. But I want to start on the sauce, and then we'll slice the bread. Before we do that, we're going to take a quick 3-minute break because Twitch is like chirping at me to do that. So I want to do that now-ish. Trinderella says, I admit I want to live then because I love the clothes, but that may be because the show has such good wardrobe. Yes. I'd be dead if it was actually then from the childbirth alone. Yeah. Yeah, any medical things seem deeply unpleasant in that universe. I have no desire to live then. You know, you watch like other shows like historical or whatever, like Game of Thrones even, which I've mentioned twice now. And you're like, oh, that seems interesting. But like this show kind of, yeah, I mean, it definitely, intrigue. Sorry, the word I was searching for when I said mystique earlier was intrigue, not mystique. Again, with the whole synonyms thing. Adorka would have been a changeling? Probably. Yeah. A sage or medicine person? I have no idea. I would probably just be like some tradesperson, which is fine. Seems like not a bad thing to be. All right, Instant Pot just shut itself down. Good, we're sealed. I hear boiling in there. That's good. There's a byline in the series, not really a spoiler. We should basically mold bread to make rudimentary penicillin. Yeah, I feel like that's coming up for me. That's coming up. Not shocking. Someone that I talked to, a friend of mine, I was like, oh, I started watching Outlander, and they were like, oh, is that the show where the blah 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 happens, and then blah, and there was like 7 things that I definitely did not see yet, and I was like, you know, I don't know, but thanks for all of that information. Agriculture has an illustrious nor divergent history. That doesn't shock me. Todd is a bit weird, but the sheep like him, and he can fix anything, so we let him be. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like agriculture is a big tent. A big tent, as it were. All right, let's do a quick game of words and stream. We're gonna run a 3-minute ad on Twitch here, and then we'll be back momentarily. I am going to clear up the dishes while we're doing that. Nothing boring, or nothing fun. Ah! My Instant Pot just let go. Hold on. The seal on the side just let go. Okay. Well. And I just stopped my timer. I literally just like absent-mindedly stopped the timer for the stuff that was in the oven. And I don't know why I just did that. This happens with this Instant Pot. It's annoying. It's really annoying. But basically this rubber ring on the inside comes unseated and starts venting steam. So it's super annoying, but it is relatively easy to fix. Although often if it happens once, it happens again. I found that to be true. So let's see. Where did it crack that time? In the back. Okay, that feels good. Let's try this again. Also, that had just started to be under pressure. So we're gonna do just a 30-minute John on here again. It's happened It's happened before. I did jinx it, so Fluff, you're right. Angry Rock, it is not good. It is not good. Time for a new ring. Would that help? Is it the ring that's the issue? Maybe it's, it might be stretched out. Yeah, it might just not be as, I mean, it's rubber, so it might have stretched out over time. Mix, I know what you're talking about with like a needle, like you just kind of pushing it in around. See, the thing with this one is you don't need it to do that. That's what I'm saying. It might be too loose because it's like, it's just kind of out, like it's loose around the edges. If it bursts again, very honestly, I might not do the beans. Like I might just give up on the beans. That's not true. If it bursts again, I'm going to try it one more time. But if it bursts the third time, we'll give up on the beans. How's that? You can definitely order them. Had no idea. I'm gonna add that to my to-do list. Literally, I'm just gonna like, I'm texting it to myself. Order new instant pot ring. Rubber ring. Okay, that seems reasonable. Okay. All right, we're gonna try this again. DV Harley says, if the tiniest piece of food or anything is in the seal, you have to take it out and wipe it. We learned that the hard way. I don't think that's the case this time. And there's just beans in here. We've had definitely yesterday. Yesterday, this top piece was not like staying completely sealed, and I like tweaked it a couple times to like let steam escape, and then it when I did that, it kind of stops. It was leaking, basically. So I know that it had something in it yesterday, but okay. It's sealed. Jamie says ads are incoming. All right, we're gonna let that go. We're gonna hope for the best. I'm gonna play a game of words on stream. I'm gonna get that started here. We're gonna run a 3-minute ad on Twitch. I'll be back in just a moment. If you're watching on YouTube, you're not getting an ad. Channel's not monetized yet. But hang out, because this is what we're gonna do. Ad coming, 3, 2, 1.
Hi.
Here's an ad.
Welcome to another edition of Commercials I Hate.
Jamie immediately got grandma. Amazing. That was not even, I didn't even have time to look at the letters. Impressive. All right. Oh, I said I wanted to load stuff into the dishwasher, didn't I? I did. Let me do that because that will make life easier at the end of the night. I like playing words on stream, but I also like when life after stream is easier. So I'm going to work on both of those things now. I just had the thought, if that gratin is not, like, the potatoes aren't soft in there and cooked when I check it at the end of its time, I think I'm going to cover it back up again, maybe add like a little bit more liquid and cover it back up. Because the cooking aspect with the potatoes is like steaming them. And then when you take this cover off, it's like drying it out. So thinking I might end up needing to cook them a little longer. Let's see. I'm nervous because it's very close with timing. All right. We got time. Speaking of timing, we got time for another one of them. That was super close, y'all. I was watching. All right. Last thing to rinse off at the sink here. Get this mandolin. I'm gonna clean this mandolin now myself, so it's not in the dish pile. No one else really wants to clean this thing. Hell, I don't really want to clean this thing. It's a nightmare. Right. Well, it is clean. So that's good. All right, sauce is also bubbling now, which is great. That's what we want, the sauce on the stove to bubble. If you are experiencing an ad break on Twitch, welcome back. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. We're playing a game of words on stream. We'll be done here in just a moment. If you have a guess, there's one 5-letter word and one 4-letter word left on the board available. Can we get it? Can we get it? Can we get it? Oh, so fluff. We're so close. We got the next one is a C, a 4-letter word. C. What? There we go. Beautiful, y'all. Good job. Good job. We should have a counter. We should have a counter for whenever we finish a board, whenever a board is completed. I actually feel like that's important. Like that feels like it would be an important thing. No, maybe not. Maybe not, but I'm like, I was just sitting here, I was like, when did we get, how often do we get, how many times have we done a completion? And I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. You have to preload it. Well, yeah, what I would probably do is just like the check-in thing, just start it with a specific date. Well, so far, knock on wood, the Instant Pot is holding up. It's been going now. It's been going for 4 minutes. No problems. I think it's sealed. Usually when it unseals, it's like early on. I know the Instant Pot. We've been acquainted. We've been well acquainted. Okay, hold on. I do kind of want to. Why do I care about where the Instant Pot is? I'm not actually needing the counter space. When's your next affiliate anniversary? Next affiliate anniversary is June sometime. I started streaming in May. So my stream anniversary, my next stream anniversary is going to be 3 years. Is that true? Yeah, that's true. Damn. We were talking about time earlier. I feel like I've been streaming for like a couple of months. Okay, fair. So Fluff's like, receipts. Receipts. I mean, it's weird when you look at your stats on Twitch, you can see if you look at your followers list, it's in chronological order. Also, So Fluff, to your point about my being organized, since day one, I've had an if this then that recipe that every time someone new follows the account, it puts that information into a Google spreadsheet. So I have a list of everyone who's ever followed the account, not just the folks that have followed and still follow, but the folks that have unfollowed too. Damn it, the Instant Pot just let go again. You piece of... Ah! Student Mesa, hello. I didn't say hi to you yet. Welcome in. Dan, hello. Son of a bitch. Do I have any canned beans in here? Damn it, I don't have any canned beans. Okay, I said one more time. We're gonna try one. I said we would try one more time. It was in a different place this time, which is not particularly helpful. Mix is right there with the follow age, 2 years, 7 months. Cursed beans. The beans are just happy in there. They're just okay. I'm gonna follow DJ Harley's advice. We're gonna take the ring out. We're gonna dry it. Then we're gonna follow Mix's advice and take the chopstick and poke it in. But hey, these beans are looking good. Honestly, if I can get another like another 2 10-minute things out of this, I'll be happy. If I get 3 8-minute 3 8-minute cooks out of here, that would be fine too. All right, we're taking our knitting needle comb chopstick in here and putting that ring back in. I'm looking at it when I turn it upside down. Let's see, you stay in. These are the problem areas. The ones in the back are the ones that like come out. Hold on. It's gotta be venting.
I have no freaking idea.
Who did that? Who did that? Who among you is making noise? Wipe the edge of the inner pot. All right, fine. Goddamn thing. I'm ordering a new ring tonight. Like literally, it's going to be the first thing I do after stream. Okay. It's seated. It's sealing. It's still going. I never turned it off. I literally just... First thing we do is turn off the timer. No, I'm just gonna let the timer go. I'm not... What do I do? Okay, wait. Manual. Yeah, let's do... What did it blow out at? 23 minutes? Let's do 23 minutes. Great. We'll see. If it doesn't work... then we'll just not do it anymore. No, if it doesn't work, it depends. I don't know. I just like, I want it to keep going. The beans are like looking okay. Wipe the inner lid ring and the pot ring with a paper towel and white vinegar. Interesting. And store it separately. I will. I feel like this one's done for. I feel like this was our starter ring. We're gonna learn from this, and we're gonna do better the next time. I think that's the lesson here. The lesson here is also that this Instant Pot is like old, and I've never replaced the ring or anything, and I didn't even know that you would need to replace the ring. Like obviously you would need to replace the ring. I don't know. It does seem obvious now that we've reached this point in its life cycle. All right, we're cutting some bread. So what I'm going to do with this is brush this with olive oil and then pop it on a sheet pan. And then a little bit here, we're going to toast it. in the oven and see, hopefully, we can put some white beans with red sauce on here. The other thing I could do is put some water, set some water at like a really rolling boil, and try to cook these beans quickly, but like that's probably not gonna happen because it would still take too long. If I could get them close though, if I could get them to like 20 minutes on a boil close, I think I would just do that then. We'll see. I'm hopeful. If it blows out again, let me look in the cabinet. We're gonna look in the cabinet. We're in cabinet mode. Let me put these on the sheet pan first though. So what I'm thinking is something else from the cabinet. I have tuna in there. We could do like tuna in red sauce on toast. How's that? Tuna in a pasta sauce on toast. I don't know, Lou. That seems like a bit of a stretch. I think your family's going to be like, no thank you at that one. I don't think the family will go in for that one, honestly. Let me think about it for another moment. And then let me also see what else is in there. There could be some other like goodie that I haven't considered. Probably not. Can you fit all of these on this sheet pan? Jenga. Yes! Yes! I can. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I should be on Survivor, y'all. Look at how quickly I did that puzzle. This is my Survivor moment. Arranging the bread. Thank you. Are we all watching Traders? Are we caught up on Traders? Mrs. Syntax says, I just make cheesy garlic bread to go along. That's a really good idea. And I'm trying to use up some cheese. So that tracks real nicely with what I'm actually trying to do today. I'm going to keep that one in mind. Good idea. Now, to be fair, the goal of the beans and the sauce was to get a little protein in this, which the garlic bread would not achieve, but it would achieve using up the cheese. So, push. What's in here that I could use instead? Is there anything in here, fridge, that I could put in there? I could do, I say ooh as if this is great. I could do pepperoni. Okay, some pepperoni. I could do carrots again. No, there would be a mutiny here. What's in this cabinet over here? Hold on a second. We're gonna check. We're actually gonna check. Crawdalt, thank you. I appreciate it. Mick says, if my parents went away, my mom made C rations, as we called them. Ground beef, Kraft dinner, peas, and corn, and she put it in several bowls in the fridge before they left when I was young. That's great. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that in mind, and we're even gonna call it C rations for Calvin. All right, so we're sealed. I hear boiling. The timer might start. This is Syntax pizza bread. Oh. That might be the move. If this breaks the seal again, well, one, we're gonna get it some diapers. But two, that's the direction we're going. It's diapers on an Instant Pot. Would you put the diaper would have to be on the top? Calvin rations, yeah. C rations. Culinary rations, oh, okay. I get it. I was wondering what that meant, but I figured it was something familial. Alley Cat, thank you for coming through today. Thank you for your resub. I appreciate it. Thank you for being a part of the Counter Club for 12 months as a sub. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you next time. Indeed you will. Hopefully I'll be here. That's the goal. All right, let's see what we have in here as a potential backup to this misery of an experience that the Instant Pot has provided us today. Not that, not that, not that. That's fluff. We like fluff. We got this is like the snack sort of cabinet. We got we got 2 packages of ladyfingers up here. Shish, definitely don't need those. Oyster crackers, no. Honey, no. Dried strawberries, no. That's not going to be good. What's behind here? Nothing. Cool. Okay, so what's left in this cabinet is tuna. Period. Tuna. And some bunch of crackers and dried crap. All right, there is literally nothing in there that would go well in that red sauce. Almost 1 a.m. Grapple Hooker. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good to see you. Thank you for coming through. I thought it was a cheeky reference to military rations. I assumed it was something that I was not aware of. Which is true. Culinary rations, that makes sense. Mrs. Syntax says, I've tried to wing myself out of recipes or things not working out too many times. I once tried to make chicken masala without chicken or turned into soupy sauce and rice. I proceeded to make masala soup. Hey, when life hands you no chicken, you make masala soup. That seems reasonable enough to me. Well, we're going. Our timer is working again. Our timer is going, and the thing is under pressure. I don't want to put my head too close. I want to hear what's happening inside, but I don't want to put my head too close. Because I don't want it to burst and, burst all over my earlobes. I'm looking in here for anything that might be a potential quick protein add, such as ding, 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 ding. Shrimp. Raw shrimp, tail off, peeled and deveined already. I could just drop those directly into the red sauce. Plan settled. In fact, if I'd have remembered that shrimp was in there, I would have had that instead of the beans. So, I'm not rooting for the beans to fail, but I'm just saying if they did, we know what we're doing. Sounds expensive. Crawdall. I got those at Wegmans. It's the largest bag of shrimp that you can get at Wegmans. It's it was definitely a bulk item, and they've been in there for quite a while. Quite a while. Cyborg, welcome in. Mix, I'm reading when I started hosting the orphan holiday dinners. Fake cornbread for dressing. Man, you're I love that history. All of the long weekends on the farm. That sounds bucolic. There you go. There's a vocabulary word for you. Bucolic. I'm just refilling my olive oil because I'm going to use it for the bread. Cyborg, did I say hi to you? Hello. I think I did. Maybe I did. I'm not sure. Cyborg, catch me up though. Absolutely. We started stream by this has just been I've been very slow today. I'm feeling very slow, physically slow. Or I'm moving slowly. So we started today talking about what a potato gratin is in general. and sort of some strategies around that. Then we read the recipe that that I was looking off of, which is not what I'm making, but is this root vegetable gratin from the book Modern Potluck by Kristen Donnelly, who is a recipe developer / multi-cookbook author. So we talked about that a little bit. We read the recipe from here. I sliced the potatoes on a mandolin. I sliced 3 sweet potatoes and 2 Yukon Gold potatoes, ? White potatoes. So slice those up. Then I spent a bunch of time layering those in a dish with Parmesan cheese, which I also shredded. So we have like sweet potato, white potato, sweet potato, white potato kind of layers with salt, pepper, and cheese in between each layer. I got those in the oven. That's been in the oven now for 45 minutes. My timer just went off on those. So we put those in the oven. I put the beans in the Instant Pot. I've futzed with the Instant Pot like 6 times already. The seal has broken twice now on it in the 30 minutes they're supposed to be cooking. So we've like had some management of that. We played a couple games of Words on stream, and I put that red sauce on the stove. That's basically it. That's what we've done on stream today. Not a lot, honestly. It doesn't feel like a lot, but we're getting dinner on the table, so this is how it goes today. Carlotte says, my dad just forced me to learn how to cook from the day I proved I could read. That's like, I want Calvin to know how to cook. I think it's important that he learn how to cook for himself, but I'm not forcing him to do it because I'm like the one, I think as I see it, I'm the one who enjoys cooking in our house. And if I push that on him, it will just be something that he can not want to do when he's older because of whatever reasons teenagers need to hate the things that their parents love. So I'm just taking it real slow with him. I'm just happy that he likes food and he likes to eat right now. And he likes a variety of different foods. So my hope is that the enjoyment of a variety of different foods will translate slowly, maybe, but ultimately to an appreciation for like, okay, maybe I will learn how to cook something. So I'm not like forcing it on him, but I would, anytime he's interested, I want to indulge that. He did sign up for, his friend was signing up for a cooking class for summer camp, like one of the weeks of summer. And so Calvin signed up, or I signed him up, but he's signed up now for that same class with that friend, which will be really interesting because they do like a bunch of different dishes and like all sorts of stuff. And it's like cooking all day, every day for like a week. And like, I'm like, you haven't really shown a distinct interest in this. Are you sure you want to do this? And he's like, yeah, my friend's doing it. And I'm like, all right. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. He might hate cooking forever after that. Or conversely, he might know everything about cooking when he comes home. So we'll see how it goes. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't, just let it be. Shh. All right, we're gonna put a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of onion powder on this bread. Actually, I'm gonna flip it over and oil the other side. Dan, thank you for the bits. Appreciate you. We're tempted to be contrarian. Yeah, I know. I'm just we're. It's like when the new animal that lives in your house decides to come out from under wherever it was hiding for the first time. Just let it be. Just let it be. All right. So I'm oiling, what I'm doing with this bread, I'm oiling it. The timer for my potatoes went off, by the way. So I should check them, and I'm going to. Let me finish with this bread, and then I will. I'm oiling this, and then what I'm going to do is pop this into the oven a little bit closer to finish time. Maybe I'll pop it in now, actually, because it can cool down a little bit afterward. And if the potatoes are finish up in the oven early for some reason, I can always just turn the oven off and then put them on inside in the warm oven to stay warm. That would be fine too. Okay, these are relatively greased here. I'm going to take these and put them to the side, and we're going to check on the gratin in the oven. So let's get that out. I'm actually just going to get it out of the oven for a moment here on the counter. Cyborg, you're welcome for the ketchup. Nix, you went to MREs and decided you weren't doing that again when you were 13. I think I started cooking I know I started like some basic stuff in middle school. Maybe 5th grade. Tornado says, I'm teaching my kids to cook because I refuse to send them out into the world without basic skills. Learning to cook is because they have some strong preferences and want to be able to make themselves food. That's great. Like, yeah, you got a preference for something, you can make it yourself. That seems reasonable. Try to recreate ice cream flavor, SpaghettiOs, and try a particularly delicious batch of sloppy joes. A particularly delicious batch of sloppy joes sounds right up my alley. That's one of my favorite things. I have a really good recipe for sloppy joes that I personally love. And I use that one for the most part, but any sloppy joes are good. Okay, let's see how these look. Oh, how are we doing? How are we doing, y'all? What's the temperature inside of here? 206! Hell yeah, these are gonna be done. I'd serve this, John, right now. Just kidding, no I wouldn't. We're gonna put this in. I'm gonna put this back in the oven. I am going to do what the recipe says, which is to add, what does the recipe say? Pause, where did I put that book down? Where is it? Emergency, emergency. Oh, it's under here. What does, of course I closed the book and now I don't know what it is. It was some amount, wait, let's look up sweet potatoes. Seaweed. As if you tried and not your seaweed. 132. It's probably, there should be a thing in here. I've made this before. Let's put a thing in here. That's why I couldn't find it earlier. It says a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Okay, so that's not all that much. No. No, Lou, don't just pour cream wantonly into your dish. Do an actual 1/4 cup and let that spread out. Okay, great. Let's get this back in the oven. It says it needs to bake another 30 minutes off of without the cover on it. I don't think it's going to take that much. It was cooking at a much higher temperature than it's supposed to. or than the recipe calls for, rather. So that's not much higher, but it's cooking at a higher temperature. So that's a good thing. We're gonna put that in, we're gonna put those in there. Let's finish up with this bread. Pause, Lou. What do we need to do next? Bread. I want to get the cheese out for the top of the gratin. And that's it. Okay, not that much. Cardinal says, cooking may be my hobby and one of my favorite times, but I also know it to be a survival skill. Right. Yeah, I can cook, but like, I don't have the gardening skills, but like the growing skills, like the holistic side of things. Like, you can hand me a vegetable and I'll do a bunch of stuff with it, which I do think is a skill for sure. But I think the full circle aspect of like growing things yourself, I haven't gotten there yet. Trinidad says it's also a handy math lesson for fractions. Yeah, that is extremely true. Conversions in general. Okay, I'm adding some garlic powder to this. I'm just putting it into my hand and kind of like letting it rain on the thing so that it distributes evenly. Not a ton, just like a little bit. Just enough that you're like, some garlic in that. There's garlic in the sauce too. The sauce that's on the stove that I'm gonna drop the beans into, just let it go. It's doing okay. Just don't say anything. The sauce has it has garlic in it. It was raw beforehand. Now it is cooked because it's been on the stove simmering for a little bit. I wanted to cook it down a little bit because it's just like raw tomato sauce, so it's getting there. It's getting there. Take some seeds and throw it out onto the sidewalk. This is true. Like a compost pile, right? When you get all the stuff that starts growing out of your compost pile, which is always quite fun. Salt Bay, but with garlic powder. Yeah, the garlic lad. Or wait, no, I'm thinking of Hey It's Me Salty has a lot of salt lad. Anyway, that's why I said that. I should put a timer back on the gratin. I put the gratin back in like 4 minutes ago. So let's just do like a 20-minute timer starting right now, which should be fine. Excuse me. Okay, so this is going. I'm gonna put my oil and salts away. Okay, while we have a few minutes, Kiwi, thank you for the command buffet in chat. Let me talk a little bit about two streams coming up. One is Friday and the other one is February 21st. 22nd, February 22nd, Saturday, February 22nd. So this Friday, we're gonna do an IRL stream from Shady Maple Smorgasbord. It's the largest buffet in the United States. It is the largest farm market in Pennsylvania. They are letting us come in and stream there. Not only are they letting us come in and stream, which you are allowed to do generally, like there's no restrictions on streaming there, but the cool part is that I've been coordinating with a couple of the folks there, and we're gonna get a behind the scenes tour. So we're gonna do a tour of their kitchen. It's like huge production kitchen. And we're gonna do a tour of the back side of their market, their like farm market, which again, largest farm market in Pennsylvania. This is like, it's like basically a grocery store, like a huge grocery store attached to a huge buffet. And we're gonna get a tour of both from the Director of Quality Control at Shady Maple and the schedule for the day is going to be basically a lunch. I'm going with my friend Drew. So he and I are going to, we're going to get lunch. We're going to do a tour. Then we're going to look around the market, and then we're going to get dinner. So we're going to be there for quite a while, probably like 6 or 7 hours total on Friday. So that's going to be like basically all day on Friday. I'm curious if y'all have any questions or anything that you'd like to know about Shady Maple or about a massive buffet, about the history or any of that kind of information. Like, I'm curious about a lot of kitchen stuff, right? I'm curious, like, how do they figure out recipes? Oh, Liz, food waste is you're cutting right to the chase. Like, yeah, what happens with all this stuff on the plate? That's a great question. Let me physically write some of these down on an index card. So I'm gonna have my index cards with me. So I'll actually write that down. Like, I'm curious what they're gonna do, what they do for recipes, like how they get new recipes, all of that type of thing. That is something I am deeply curious about. So we'll get to that. Hey, Lemon, welcome in. Welcome in. How did the pies turn out? Pies. How are the pies today? Woo, the music just was like, let's join the conversation too. Lemon, welcome in. Thank you for the shout out. Appreciate it. Bisky Shama, hello. Nice to have you. Welcome, friends. Friends who were hanging out with us already prior to the raid. I'd like to send a full endorsement for y'all to go follow A Recipe Reborn. Lemon is a really fantastic food and drink creator, variety streamer, also streams Final Fantasy. And I find Lemon's content not only to be like super welcoming, but also very educational. And she's very open to answering like logistical questions about cooking, which is great. Is in school, in culinary school, knows a good deal, and is also just like a really nice stream to hang out in. So please go follow. For those of y'all who were hanging out from Lemon stream, from the raid, I want to say one thing first. Follows are silent, there's no alerts, and if you gotta run, it's totally okay. If you follow, I'm not going to say hi to you until you chat, and nothing's going to go off, no bells, no whistles, no nothing. Anyway, welcome in. My name's Lou. This is a food stream. I am a variety streamer. I also do IRL content. We were just talking about that when you landed, and we're going to get back to it in a second. Mostly what we do here is vegetable forward family meals for myself, my partner, and our son, who is 9. That's kind of what we're doing tonight. We have a potato gratin in the oven that has about 15 more minutes on it. We have some white beans, cannellini beans in the Instant Pot right now that just finished up. We had some issues with the Instant Pot. So we're gonna let those naturally pressure release for just a few moments here, and then we're gonna check them. If they're not done, we're gonna just jam them back in there for another few minutes and hope the seal doesn't break again for the 3rd time today. Anyway, welcome in. That's the vibe here. We are talking about a buffet that we're going to. So we're gonna get back to that in a second. Lemon says the crust was a little underbaked, but I managed to save them. You know, I bet they were amazing. I bet they were better than most. And I appreciate the like, I managed to save them, because I feel like for myself, I know that I am my own harshest critic. And often I'll be like, I'll sit down at dinner and I'll be like, you know, Gwen and Calvin will be like, oh, I really like this. Occasionally I'll sit down at dinner and Gwen and Calvin will be like, oh, I really like this. And I'll have like immediate criticisms. Like, I know exactly what I would do differently. I'm like, oh, but this is the thing. I would do a little more salt here, would have made it perfect. I'm glad that they were saved. And the knowing how to save them is the nice part. Let me go back to the top, because Friday on this stream is going to be very exciting. Friday is going to be an IRL stream. We're going to the largest buffet in the United States, the largest farm market in Pennsylvania. They're in the same place. run by the same people. So we're going to be there on Friday. We're getting lunch. We're getting a behind-the-scenes tour in their kitchen. The director of quality control is going to take us all around in the kitchen itself, as well as behind the scenes in the farm market, back on the receiving and processing and like the logistical side of things. We're going to have lunch. We're going to do a tour. We're going to look around the front end of the market, and then we're going to have dinner. So we're going to do like a lot. We're going to be at this buffet for a while, and I had just asked seconds before y'all came through, what would you like to know about the largest buffet in the United States? What would you like to know? This is Syntax. Is it a walk-in buffet? Yes, you can walk in. There's like a line. There's a huge line to get in, but you don't have to have like reservations or anything. You walk in and get a table and use the buffet. Yes, you walk in, you get a table. They like sit like a little like totem or whatever on your table, and then you just have that table. You go up, you eat, you come back, you stuff yourself until you are rolling out the door. So it is that kind of situation. Liz says, how do they manage the prep and timing for cooking? Yeah, like what gets prepped ahead? What gets prepped days ahead? What gets prepped the morning of? What gets fired when someone wants it? That makes sense to me. That sounds like that's a good question. Mrs. Syntax says, I always wondered how they keep track of how much to make and when to prevent much food waste, yet still be able to have food running on the buffet the entire serving. Yeah. So like, yeah, how to plan for volume and reduce food waste. Reduce waste and have availability. Warrior Kalia, hello. Say my partner ate mac and cheese that I made. That was so poorly done, and he liked it, but I still complained that I could have done better with better ingredients. I feel that. And sometimes as the cook, you just have to be like, thank you, I'm glad you liked it, and just like, yeah, I know I could do better. Carla says, I just want to see what the buffet's like and what it's got. Yeah, same. Peanut Butter Rampage, we're going to Shady Maple Buffet, Command Buffet in chat if you want to know some more details. Liz literally right there. Next message below you. Thank you. And I'm reading chat linearly, so there we go. And there's the thank you. Okay, you're welcome. Got it. That's awesome. Cool. I'm so behind. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate you. Carla says, from what I observed at my local Chinese buffet, I think they send people out looking to what's getting low once in a while. Yeah, I have that feeling. I also notice on their website, they list meal. They basically, each meal, they do breakfast. So let me, the woman who I was talking to about the whole thing was like, hey, do you want to maybe come in for breakfast? And I laughed because breakfast starts at 6 a.m. No, I don't start at 6 a.m. Period. Anyway, for breakfast and lunch and dinner, they have like a set number. It's like 3 entrees, like 10 finger foods, 4 desserts, whatever. It was like, they have a set thing. So I think there's definitely a lot of planning, and I'm really curious about that myself. How many chefs, how many people per shift? Yeah, what's the staffing? How are they dealing with rising food costs? Like eggs. Oh God, yeah. Like, how's your breakfast, y'all? Have you moved to tofu yet? That's a good question. Is my pressure done on this? No, pressure's not done on me. Pressure's not quite done on. I'm waiting for this Instant Pot to have naturally released its pressure. That's what we're doing right now. Mick says the Mandarin buffet was terrible with food waste. They ran super deals on stuff to try to get a measure on how much to make, and they did free delivery. And they're less wasteful because they Excel sheeted the orders to learn how to actually do better. That's great. Yeah, I mean, I'm imagining that this place has, kind of want to see their spreadsheet. I'm not going to lie. I kind of want to see the spreadsheet that they're running on this place because I think it would be amazing. Have they made any permanent changes? Ooh, yeah. Pandemic changes that stuck. That's a good question. I want to know. I'm curious about like how they do recipe testing. Like how often do they make new things? How often does new food, like new recipes, come onto the buffet? And what does that process look like? Like how do they get from someone requests that they now do? I don't even know. I'm trying to think of something they probably don't have, but I'm coming up empty. You know, they get enough requests for like fried tofu squares, right, on the buffet. How do they go from the request to getting it on the line? On cruises, they started serving you the food versus giving you the option. Interesting. I actually don't know how they do it here. I've seen some videos and like I know they have like carving stations and stuff like that. Mrs. Syntax says around here buffets have too good to go deals where you can bring 4 boxes and load them up to take home for an extremely discounted price to prevent food waste. Hell yeah, that is amazing. I love that. There's an app in the city here that is something similar, but you can buy like you can purchase stuff at the end of the day, like for bakeries and things like that. I forget the name of it. It's something similar. It's a similar idea or concept. I like that at a buffet though. That sounds really useful. That sounds like great business for them too. And maybe something where like at some point in the day you get oh yeah, Gratin's looking amazing, y'all. I'm not worried about the time anymore. Something during the day where you get like, you know, after 6 p.m. you can pay an extra like $1 or $2 and they'll give you some takeout containers. I think that would be kind of fun. Oh man, Mix, all those changes are amazing. All of that is great. I'm a little like, I haven't been to a buffet in a long time. The last time I went was definitely Golden Corral, and I can't even tell you when that was. Where Too Good to Go is the app I have here for the same thing. I think it's probably the same thing here then. I'm seeing there's like a light blue sort of leaf looking logo. Maybe that makes sense to you. Bakeries and supermarkets where you can buy stuff on date or shortly before the dates. It's the same concept. Yeah. It's the one app is a Syntax. That's kind of like, I keep meaning to do that because the bakery around the corner from me uses it, and I love their pastries. I buy them like 3 and 4 at a time, and I'm like, damn, if I could just run over there at the end of the day and get some like pastries for cheap, I totally would. Because I let them sit in my cabinet for like 3 days before I eat them anyway. What the hell do I care if they're the same day? Angry Rook says, having observed my fellow citizens in the last few years, I have no interest in going to a buffet anymore. Valid. Extremely valid. Hang out with us on Friday and you can observe without interacting or without needing to participate physically. Too Good to Go. I'm going to write that down too, because that is a thing that I keep meaning to sign up for. And it's like the number 2, right? Like 2. Wait. 2? Am I doing that in the right direction on your screen? 2? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay, no number. Good to know. We used to have a Japanese buffet for a little bit in the mall near where we used to live. It was great. It's sad that it went out of business. Yeah, I mean, I feel like buffets are a dying, dwindling class of eatery. And I think a lot of the reasons like pandemic related stuff and just like pandemic and costs and like everything. It just seems like it's an intense business to have to hit the margin. I mean, like any food service business is, and the fact that you're just like putting it out on a thing and hoping people pick it up seems wild to me. So the mix, they have staff at pretty much everywhere now at that one. Things like bread, sushi, cakes, tarts, anything people attempted to grab with their hands. Ah, yeah. The last time, no, that's not true. The last time I went to a breakfast buffet was one of the karate competitions that Calvin went to over in the fall. But it was like a breakfast buffet at like a resort. It's not a resort, like a hotel situation. So I guess that counts. It wasn't a standalone buffet. It was not like, yeah, standalone buffets are kind of what I'm talking about as a dwindling, as a leaf motif. Yes. Okay. So it's same thing. All right, cool. Pizza, broccoli, frittata, Velos. That sounds great. What kind of cheese you got in there? Broccoli frittata base. Yes. All right. Moment of truth. These beans are so blown out and overcooked, I bet. They kind of look overcooked. If they're overcooked, I honestly do not care. Like, that's better. I'd much rather these be completely, and they are. Yeah, these are way overcooked. Sheesh. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I don't care. Because what I want is like beans that you scoop out of a bowl in red sauce and put on toast. And if some of these are busted up and they're real thick, I don't care, because they're going to thicken that sauce a little bit, and it's going to make it better. So, yeah. Hotel breakfast buffet is different. Yeah, I agree with you. Complimentary breakfast buffet is not the same as Golden Corral. Those two things live in different worlds. All right, little Instant Pot. You did it today. You did it today. Yeah, I'm not super worried about these getting overdone or being overdone, because, as I said, they are just going to get incorporated in the sauce anyway. All right, so here we go. Beans into the sauce that I had on the stove. Stir. And we're ready to go. It's a bean sauce soup. And my timer just went off for my oven, my gratin in the oven. So let's get that off. Stop. Okay, let's do that. And I'm also going to move this Instant Pot off the counter here. I promise you I will be getting a new ring for the inside of this thing, so I don't have to stop. I can stop griping about it. Because it's been a couple streams now, and honestly, like, I haven't fixed the problem. But today was the first time I think anybody was like, you should get a new ring. So, you know, we're starting from today. Let's get this gratin out of the oven. Now this needs to rest for a few minutes, probably. I said I was going to put cheese on top of here, but I think I don't want to do that. I think it's probably okay to not do that. Unless, hold on. Ooh, yeah, this bread is doing great. All right, first thing though with this bread, I gotta dump a little bit of this oil out of here because it's kind of it's like floating, not floating. There's oil. There's a lot of oil in the bottom of my sheet pan. A lot of it came out of the bread and is now liquidy. So I want to get that off. I'm going to pop that back in. Now we're going to let that gratin sit for a minute here. It's supposed to sit and cool for a few minutes. So I think, let me look in the fridge here at what I've got. What do I got? I have Swiss and provolone, and that's it, really. And I'm not feeling, honestly, I'm not feeling super compelled by either of those. So I think I'm just going to leave the gratin as it is. I am going to sprinkle some of this, the rest of this Parmesan on top, though. Because I had this Parmesan that I didn't use in the layers here, and I'm just going to sprinkle that on, and that can sort of melt on there nicely. This gratin, by the way, reduced in volume by half. It was twice as thick when I put it in the oven as it is now. All right, I'm going to turn, because I have bread in here and I kind of want that to sort of get toasted, I'm going to turn my oven up to 500. Why not? What could go wrong? All right, everything, really. All right, we're going to take one last, are we going to take a quick ad break? Hold on, can I snooze this? How long can I snooze this for? 16 minutes, okay. I don't think we're going to need another ad break. I think we're going to chance it. I think we're going to chance it because I would prefer not to take another ad break. You think we can finish stream in the next 16 minutes and be done? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. The other thing that I wanted to talk about for IRL stuff is I wanted to ask any Canadian folks in chat, or non-Canadians if you have opinions about it, what we should get up to in Toronto. I'm going to Toronto. I'm going up to visit a friend, so this is a personal trip. I'm going to bring the IRL stuff with me, and I think we're going to stream from Toronto on February 22nd. Check the calendar. Saturday. Let's see. Saturday, February 22nd. Toronto. Mix, is Toronto acceptable? Is that what we want? But yeah, we'll be up there. I will be up there. My mouse isn't working. That's weird. Uh-oh. Is stream about to crash? No. Oh, there's cheese on my mouse. Sorry. There was literally just a piece of cheese on my mouse. I guess that's a technical issue, right? Toronto. Toronto. Two. Just me? Okay. We're gonna be in Toronto. My stew like cheese. Angry Rook, get out. Your joke is too good. Your joke is too good. You must leave. No, the situation in Toronto is I'm just going up to visit a friend of mine who's lived there for a long time. I'll be hanging out with him. He's probably going to stream with me on that Saturday. So he's lived there forever and will likely accompany me on my daytime trip around. I'm just looking for anything particular that folks would be interested in seeing, because I've been there a handful of times. I've walked around a bunch on my own, but I went to the CN Tower. I just like to walk. I love just being like out, like, let me just walk for 6 hours and see where we end up. That's usually my MO, modus operandi. I'm probably going to look up a couple places to walk and have like a general route, but I'm just looking for anything that anybody is like, hey, this would definitely be a thing that you should check out because blah, blah, blah. Like that's the type of feedback that I think I would be interested in. Now, it's cool if you don't have it. Trust me, I'm pretty good on my own. Angry Rook, thank you for your service. I appreciate you. Toronto. Toronto sounds like how a Utah would pronounce it. Toronto. Torino. That's a city in Italy. Let's put this on some bowls and plates. Yes. The Ripley's Aquarium. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna write some stuff down here if anybody has any suggestions for me, obviously. I know I'd like to go to the CN Tower. Liz, thank you. We did it. Teamwork. Yeah, bread's looking good. I'm actually, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna flip these over. I'm gonna flip these over because the bottom is like grilled now, which is what I wanted. And then we'll flip them over and then we'll put them back in for another like 2 minutes, and I promise I'll set a timer. Days, excuse me. Thank you. Not 2 minutes. I'm going to put these in for literally 1 minute. I want to put these in for 1:00. Perfect. Liz, I appreciate you. That bread was on its way. That bread has 1 more minute until it's burnt. And it was zero part of that bread was on my radar. It's because I didn't set a timer the first time. That's why. Okay. Let's get some of this gratin out. Let's get some of these beans. There we go. Gratin, beans, maybe a smaller bowl for these beans. Yeah, perfect. I don't want that many beans. Oven up to 500. What could go wrong? I don't know. Everything. Hold on. Hold on. Timer's going off again. Pause. I wanted to write down the aquarium thing. Lou, write down the aquarium. Write down the aquarium. Lou, write it down. Okay. Oven is off. Bread is out. Danger. Danger. Danger averted. Okay. Good. Look, I finished a thought. Amazing. Mix it was magical. That's great. I didn't grow up going to aquariums. I was very, my mom was like anti-aquarium, still is. But I've enjoyed them as an adult. There's one across the bridge from Philadelphia in Camden, New Jersey that's quite nice. Has a good reputation. Okay, look at that. Beans. Okay, we've got beans. Let's slice some of this. Where's my crappier knife? There it is. I'm gonna slice a bit of this gratin. Okay, can I get this out of here nicely so we can see the layers? Yes, I can. Okay, gratin layers on stream right now. Here they are. So Fluff, we almost did have another smoke detector moment. One of a few. Liz is the stream bread reminder. Liz, I want to tell you that, like, Gwen has said to me a couple times, she's mentioned that you've mentioned the bread in chat. So I know y'all are like on the same page over this, and I think it's fantastic. Okay, let's get this. We're not ready to plate the rest of that gratin yet. This can go back over here. And let's get my cutting board. Move it! Move it or lose it, Gratin. Cutting board, that, and then a little piece of bread. Let's use every plate we can today, shall we? There. Where's my phone? There it is. All right. I'm really even craving potatoes. I have had potatoes and I keep craving them and then I keep not making them. That's why we're making this today. Okay. Great. Let's try this. I'm going to try everything. I'm going to try everything here. Here's what we made for dinner tonight. It's coming. All right, here it is. Here's what we made for dinner tonight. We made a potato gratin. The potato gratin has Yukon Gold potatoes and sweet potatoes, Parmesan, salt, pepper, and heavy cream. There is a red sauce. It is a can of tomatoes, garlic, olive oil, salt, pepper, and cannellini beans from the Instant Pot. And then we have a piece of sourdough bread that has been oven cooked with olive oil. That is tonight's dinner. Is this a good thing for bread? Gwen, does she also like bread? Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. This is definitely a good thing for Gwen. So the gratin is fun looking. It has some nice like layers to it. Now this is only seasoned with salt, pepper, and Parmesan cheese. And heavy cream. And not a lot of heavy cream. It's good though. It's salty enough. My constant concern, does it have enough salt? Yes, it does. Pretty good. That's a big portion, by the way. Like half of that for Calvin. He's not gonna eat this whole thing. This is good. I like this. That turned out okay. I think I would add more salt to it. I held back a little bit on the salt intentionally. And that turned out okay. But the Parmesan in there is great. I feel like I could have, I'm glad that I didn't add like cheddar to the inside of that because it definitely would have let go all of its oil and just been a complete disaster. Liz, I think you're right. It was definitely like, I appreciate y'all for a lot of different reasons. Copy zombie. We're gonna have some leftovers of this, obviously. It's okay. It's okay. We like leftovers too. I will definitely. That is really good. With the beans and the bread, just like the olive oil bread. All right, I feel pretty solid about dinner tonight. Very happy with this. Very happy. Tomorrow's breakfast. You could totally just fry these potatoes in something. You could take these potatoes out and just fry them in a pan, and I bet they'd be really, really good. So Fluff has the most patience. It's possibly true. Fluff is a patient human. Okay. We're gonna raid in just a moment here. We're gonna go and raid, who are we raiding today? We're gonna raid Dana's Kitchen today. I see Dana's online. D-A-N-A-S, Dane. There we go. Okay, we're gonna raid Dana's Kitchen today. Our next stream, I'm probably gonna stream tomorrow for a little bit. A couple of notes on that. It's probably gonna be an IRL. If I do stream tomorrow, if I'm live tomorrow, it's gonna be an IRL stream. It might be sub only, and it's just gonna be like testing because I'm working on a bunch of stuff that I want to have for Friday. And so I'm trying to test some things. I want to test like my microphone level. I want to test some commands and stuff like that. So we're going to be able, like, we're going to do that. We might do that tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Calvin's got a half day. I don't know if I don't know how all of it's going to work. I might not do that, and I might just not do that. And then we'll just launch it and see if it works on Friday. And if it doesn't, hopefully I can just turn it off. Maybe. All right. Thank you for the raid messages. So I appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out today.
Okay, bye now.
Here's a few places on social media that you can find me on the internet. Hey, y'all, I'm starting to do more stuff on YouTube. I'd really appreciate a subscription there. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, that'd be a good place to go. It would mean a lot. I need to hit subscriber numbers there to like get monetized and partnered or whatever. So that's an important thing for me at this moment. It would mean a lot if you went and subscribed on YouTube. There's a link in chat right now. I'm also live there. You can watch there without any ads, but you can't see chat. So anyway, next stream might be tomorrow. If not, we're absolutely going to be live on Friday, IRL, at the largest buffet in the United States, around 11 a.m. We're going to go live around 11, maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later. But that's the goal. So if you're hanging out from any of the raids today, thank you. I appreciate you. Please follow, hit the follow button if you're not already, if you feel like it. If not, no worries if not. And we will otherwise catch you online. YouTube subs are free. All right, I appreciate y'all. Hope you have a good one. See you soon.